Two things that I would highlight in there. Number one, I think whenever we use any kind of assessments for hiring, we always say that they're not really pass fail. This is sort of a preference thing. And one of the cool things about the new sales capacity assessment is that you have different profiles. You might need different things for a farmer than you do a hunter, or somebody that has to do demand generation versus demand fulfillment and stuff. So I think it's always more information for the interview, and it can give you some questions to ask, like, hey, it looks like maybe your natural tendencies aren't to do prospecting. How would you overcompensate that, or how have you overcome that in the past in your career for a behavioral interview, rather than saying like, oh, we're going to throw everybody out that doesn't fit this profile. Is that fair?
That's the first statement, Mike. Depending on the assessment, some of our assessments measure individuals' hardwired behavioral style. And what that means in practice, it indicates and tells a story about the individuals, what behaviors are ones that are more natural for them. Let's say it's prospecting. They are hardwired for prospecting behaviors. I don't really believe that any salesperson truly loves prospecting, but some people are hardwired in a way that they are more comfortable with it. It doesn't take as much energy and it kind of flows more naturally. On the competency side, we can measure where are they at the current level of competency. In this example with prospecting, those can be developed, but what the assessment indicates, where are we right now? And then we can, in a hiring situation, we can say, hey, is this enough of a competency? We need a salesperson with good prospecting skills, and that identifies where they are right now. Again, that can be developed so we can do a measurement later and see where they are now. So we do both things, and obviously you can use those if you want a more holistic view. You can look at them together. So, hey, here we are with behaviors, here are with competencies. Now we can make a more solid decision.
That's a really cool thing. If there's any Sandler clients listening this week, I think if you've already done the extended DISC behavioral profile, do this new one, and then you can combine the results and get like the super magnifying glass into what you're doing. And that was the second thing I wanted to mention here off the top, was the development part and for training purposes. I know we don't usually sell these to individuals, but I do think if there's individuals listening today, it's important to understand why you would want to assess yourself, because it's not like anybody is going to get a perfect score here. You're not going to get this back and see like all greens. I nailed everything, A+ in every possible one of the 8 different sales profiles that you can compare against on benchmarks and all of the 16 competencies. So I think what you need to ask yourself when you're getting your assessment back, or when you want to do this for yourself, is how can I get independent, objective feedback on my preferences? You're filling out the form, so you can say whether you like prospecting or you like closing hard and fast or long and slow, and you can say, I don't think people really argue with the results too much, but sometimes I think people struggle with seeing their weaknesses, but this is really valuable information. You can then lean into your strengths, or you can train some of your weaknesses, and you can make more intelligent decisions rather than just going by, oh, I like that or I don't like that.
Very true. Yeah, very true. I mean, if we want to get better in anything in life, we need to know where we are right now. If you're an athlete, you know what your personal record is, and that's your current benchmark. Same thing with these assessments. They identify, talking about the competency assessment, where are you right now? And you, if as an individual salesperson, if you want to get better, you really need to understand what are the things that I need to develop. Sometimes we may overlook some of our strengths. We may actually be very good at certain competency, but for some reason we think that we need to continue to develop that, while there might be other sales competencies that really are going to have a greater impact for your success. And about the questionnaire, when people complete the questionnaire, they will not be able to game it. We really identify, hey, where are you right now? And like I mentioned earlier, as you continue with your development path, hopefully with your coach, your Sandler trainer, you can then measure later, let's say 6 months down the road, and say, hey, let's see what kind of progress I have made. And maybe I need to also readjust. Maybe there's some other competencies now that are also very important that I need to pay some additional attention to, because things change, and 6 months a lot of things can change in 6 months.